This is a story of opportunities and obstacles, of immigration and assimilation, of hopes and dreams, the American dream that so many Greeks before us dared to chase. At whatever point in time one chooses to begin to tell the story, it all begins in Greece. The immigrants to be lived in villages in dry or fertile valleys, on islands, and in the hills. They grew figs and olives, tilled fields, and raised sheep and goats, all for meager reward. Despite the persistent poverty, village life had its pleasures. They celebrated bountiful harvests and talked politics at outdoor kafenia. Their sorrow was the thought that their children's lives would be no better unless they had the courage to take a chance on the promise of America far away. Over 100 years ago, the first Greek immigrants crossed the sea in the dark holds of ships in search of a better life.
My love is gone.
After a grueling ocean voyage, the Statue of Liberty was the first glimpse of the United States for millions of immigrants. The Statue of Liberty, a symbol of freedom and escape from oppression. Upon disembarkation, they were piled into a large hall and then climbed a stairwell to the processing room. They were examined by medical and legal inspectors. Upon passing the exam, they were allowed to set off on their way to a new life and a new homeland.
No earthly ships will ever bring him home again. Bring him home again.
They took any jobs available, no matter how long the hours, how hard the work, or how low the pay. Crowded into rundown tenements, they faced icy winters and steaming summers. Hundreds of families soon created Greek communities throughout America. While many marriages were arranged and some couples eloped, the first Greek Americans were being born. The ever-growing extended families gathered for Sunday meals and socializing. Shaped by their parents' examples, the children carried their family values into their own families and the community. The first Greek immigrants attempted to apply the social and cultural life of the Old World to the environment of the New World. During the early 1900s, life bred a special community spirit. The Greek immigrants' participation in voluntary ethnic organizations helped in adjusting to a new American life. The formal organizations of the Greek community cushioned the culture shock of transition from a simple village life to a complex urban society, a new society bursting with opportunities as well as obstacles. The history of Greeks in America is replete with inspiring stories of accomplishment and success. It is a history of significant and important contributions to their adopted country, coupled by the struggle to overcome homegrown racism and nativism. In 1922, Americans of Hellenic heritage were suffering personal and economic intimidation orchestrated by the revived Ku Klux Klan. There was a real need for a patriotic organization that would direct and channel the energy of the Greek community in the United States. A group that would be politically nonpartisan and religiously non-sectarian. It was time for Greeks to unite and organize to protect and defend life and livelihood. Embattled yet visionary Greek immigrant leaders met on July 26, 1922, in Atlanta, Georgia, the heart of the old Confederacy. To fight the growing threat of the KKK, they formed the American Hellenic Educational Progressive Association, now better known as the Order of AHEPA. The most important goal of the AHEPA founders was to quickly and solidly establish better relations with non-Greeks. They agreed to do this by taking the positive high road of reason, emphasizing assimilation, cooperation, persuasion, and non-violence. Their main discussion was how to best contain the wave of hostility which had almost drowned them. They created a patriotic fraternal order advocating undivided loyalty to the United States, American citizenship, proficiency in English, active participation in the civic mainstream, economic stability, social unity, and the pursuit of education. Education was considered vital for its obvious gifts of knowledge and as the essential key to upward mobility. AHEPA validated its patriotic roots during World War II by selling over $500 million of U.S. war bonds, more than any organization in America. Meanwhile, AHEPA officials first visited the White House to meet with President Calvin Coolidge in 1924 and have conferred with all 12 presidents since. Presidents Franklin Roosevelt, Harry Truman, and Gerald Ford all became AHEPA members. Today, AHEPA is the largest and oldest American-based Greek heritage grassroots membership organization. With its headquarters in Washington, D.C., AHEPA has expanded its scope by adding 3 auxiliaries to complete the AHEPA family: the Daughters of Penelope for women, the Sons of Pericles for young men, and the Maids of Athena for young women. The AHEPA scope is international, with chapters in the United States, Canada, Greece, and Cyprus, in Australia and New Zealand. The AHEPA family brings the ideals of ancient Greece to the community by promoting Hellenism, education, philanthropy, civic responsibility, and family and individual excellence. True to its original mission, the AHEPA family financially supports scholarships, educational chairs, housing for the elderly, medical research, community programs, charitable projects, and other worthy endeavors through contributions from its chapters, district, and national levels. And yet, this only scratches the surface of the numerous philanthropic works of the association. AHEPA members are proud of the contributions the ancient Greeks gifted to Western civilization. As Americans, the AHEPA family share many of the values put forth by them: civic responsibility, philanthropy, education, family and individual excellence, and the ideals of democracy. This is the essence of its heritage. This is the core of the AHEPA mission. Throughout the span of its history, AHEPA has served as a vital vehicle for the progressive development and emergence of American citizens of Greek heritage into every facet of society. This fulfillment illustrates the promise of the American dream and symbolizes the hard work ethic of our immigrant forebears who labored to achieve that dream with the principles of Hellenism rooted deep in their hearts.